Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Friday Fortnite 2019, week number 7, as we are here and inbound for the grand finals of today. It is Nate Hill and Funk Bomb coming in from the winner's side, Myth and Zexrow coming in from the losers, as they'll have to win 2 series in order to become champions, while the Faze boys only need 1. It is a battle that has existed for oh so long, a rivalry that goes to the infancy of Friday Fortnite, TSM versus Faze. So many storylines over the years.
Already kind of on the losing foot here as we swap over to Nate Hill, almost getting elimination there. That player, Pickaxeable, is returning fire there a little bit, but the minigun, you love to see it, just absolutely dominating that player, and that's the first elimination. It should be credited here over to Nate Hill very soon, as he bleeds out. So, first point on the board towards Faze.
Yeah, and I'll be relatively surprised if we don't see Nate Hill ditch this minigun soon. However, if I were him, I think I'd be hanging on to it a little longer. Now, I don't know. Maybe he and Funk have been playing some public games, messing around with the mechs a little bit. Maybe they've figured out Myth and Zexrow's little tech with the Brood. But if I were him, I think I'd be hanging on that minigun because it's a Brood killer.
See what Nate Hill can do off the break. Has a few things in the inventory. Try to make the enemy dance a little bit, and it will work out very, very well, as that's going to be a few off the start. And those kind of immediate rotations in towards Salty Springs are going to be crucial, guys, because this is kind of like their main rotation, and that's one thing that kind of does cut off the boys on TSM, as you saw.
So 40 kills going to be available still in this match, not even the first zone closed. And this is like the mid-game, though, where Myth and Zexrow seem to heat up. This is where they start to hit their stride. They start to take several fights back to back to back. They let that zone close in a little bit, and there's Myth getting his first knock of the match, blasting that drum shotgun into the face of somebody trying to scoot on into his slipstream, and now he's going to take this build fight. You don't want none of this. This is the man known as the Young Architect. Maybe not so young anymore, but still just as bit of an architect. Myth has made his name in build fights. He plays plenty of creative. He plays plenty of playground mode. He knows his way around that map, and there's going to be another knock for him. I think Myth might be starting to heat up a little bit.
And this is the time, right? This is the location where you have to make that happen. We discussed we need to see it happen here at Mega Mall. Tossing on a few of those boogie bombs. Actually, the Faze boys were doing it previously. TSM doing it the same way. As up close, a little bit of a controversial spot, but he tosses out and will be able to stay up for the time. That was a huge situation of which Myth was pretty much sandwiched. But you know what is here for Zexrow? No builds, no resources. Is trying to get a little bit from this RV. Will have a little bit of cover for now, but has to be pixel perfect, and he is. That same rarity, that same weapon, as he has been so good with the heavy assault rifle, it comes out again, and it will allow for Myth to have some freedom, some alone time to take down the remaining players that were just ahead. It didn't start off the greatest for TSM, but they eventually get the job done. That's 4 eliminations for their side, just 1 below Faze right now.
Their natural rotations, it makes them get a little uncomfortable, and I'm curious if Faze might see this happening and try to exacerbate it in the coming games. As right here, we fall in to Funk just spraying down kids left and right, 30s and 60s popping.
Oh, my God.
They're force-feeding him kills. Stop it.
Funk Bomb. Slow down, buddy. We're getting a little bit aggressive, and I don't know if my heart can handle this. Not too many players remaining in this game, and there we go. Stink Bomb tossed out. He's got a few more left in his back pocket. They've been burning a hole back there, and my goodness, the shots are absolutely on for everybody in this game. Nobody skipping a beat. Nate Hill toward the low ground, but there we go. That's when Nate Hill, or rather Funk Bomb, starts to go off, and there we go. Welcome to the respawn screen. Lovely work for Funk Bomb, as that's going to be his 6th of the game and only going to progress on as they're going to grab all the spoils. Back and forth we go. TSM is dominant. Faze, again, is dominant.
Scout for kills for Nate.
Yeah.
But also that lets him come to Nate if Nate, gets engaged on first. Like he is right here, having to switch over into the gunner position on his own. Now, the only thing is, I don't know if he realizes TSM is nearby. You better stay in that mech or else it's going to get hijacked.
They can easily hop in it. Except the rockets are ready to go. Nate Hill Can he do the work necessary? We see Zexrow taking down one and being very aware of that mech. He doesn't want to allow for anyone else to get it, but that's also kind of an anchor for him, right? He constantly has to be aware of giving this one up toward the opponents.
Oh, and Nate Hill's got Myth in his gunner seat.
Oh, he does. He's helping Myth out. What a moment this is. Nate Hill's taking him for a drive. It's an Uber ride here in Fatal Fields. And what a situation we find ourselves in, Myth taking advantage. And this is what I was talking about. This is the moment where if you don't have that extra player, that's when an enemy can start to be kind of inbound. He allows for that anchor. He constantly references back, and when he does, he doesn't realize Myth was in the gunner seat. He's taking down Elims, and it looks as if right now Nate Hill, he's taking him for a ride. He's taking on a piggyback ride. Allowing for kind of the all-stars, if you will, kind of the guys who have just unbelievable shots. Not that the other two don't, but have kind of shown that throughout the day so far to kind of go off and do their own thing. It's kind of a split.
That's exactly what I was just thinking, was if I wanted to give anyone up from each team, it would probably be Myth and Nate Hill. Now, that's no knock to either of them. They're brilliant players. They're brilliant tacticians. But as far as the fragger of their team, I don't think they necessarily are. But here goes Zexrow. He is down, and this is probably going to force Myth. I don't know what position this puts Myth in. Does he stay and guarantee that he's in the turret?
Oh, if you're Nate
taking
Hill,
kills away?
you back up, right? If you're Nate Hill, so
Oh,
he hopped
totally.
out. He hopped out. I was going to say, if you're Nate Hill, you go the opposite direction, which makes Smith have to get out of the mech.
Walk further.
Get out of the brute.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So it looks as if in this situation, Zexrow, he's ticking away. Will Myth get here in time to get the revive, or he'll have to maybe just go for the reboot? You see Funkbomb, he's being extra careful. Maybe wants to allow for Zexrow to be pretty much just finished off, but Nate Hill, the enters in Neo tilted, and here we go. Now he's feeling more confident. He's got his teammate just toward his side, and they're going to go for the rush. But what a slow moment this is for TSM. What an opportunity this was for them to be in the engagements first. Now it's already over toward Faze.
Yeah, but that was super smart, though, by Zexrow to not get himself eliminated right away, because it allows Myth to get that reboot card. Had he been eliminated right away, I don't think Myth would have been able to get there. Funk does pick up a nice elimination as Nate Hill finally gets here in the mech. He's the one stomping around. You hear him, you see him. But Myth has got to try to get this reboot. Oh, my God. Just actually takes the elimination there. So he may not go for the reboot here, seeing that there's only 5 players left alive. Honestly, I say confidently this time, I don't think it's worth it. Wait, Funkbomb gets knocked down by a trap.
What?
I think he was in the mech.
Oh, no.
What?
Where did this come from?
And Nate Hill just decides to hop out of the mech,
and now
decides to put it in park, and
Myth, absolutely. Go grab that reboot card. It's
100%.
free.
Now, this is your time. This is perfect moment for TSM to pretty much take their blessing, right? FaZe was like, okay, we're going to be kind of the first ones to get out of this one. Instantly, Funk goes down. Now, this is your opportunity where you're looking at somewhat of a delay. No longer. However, you do say that.
Here, Zexrow is able to find some loot. Funk is down. He has yet to be healed, but it looks like one of the FaZe boys maybe picked up an elimination there in the feed. So now it's there's 9 players left in the lobby total. Someone can math that out as Myth finding someone here in the teeth there as Buck going to go down. Another elimination over the TSM boys. 4 total people left in the lobby. Nate Hill finding that player with the shotgun. He's cleaning up here just outside of Shifty Shafts. This is going to be a close one. It's literally going to come down to the last eliminations. Again, this is only the first game, so we do have round 2 as Nate or Funkbomb just splitting up. Funk finds that elimination. This should be it. This should be the last eliminations of the lobby.
I mean, I know we were saying that Zexrow might not necessarily have any weapons to fight with, but did he really need more than just a green assault rifle?
Guess not. I guess not.
I mean, evidently it didn't matter either way, because I don't believe that he or Myth picked up any more kills. But heading into this next round, I'm really looking for Zexrow.
If anybody can do it up against the FaZe members, right, they have a massive hill to climb. It's definitely the TSM members.
It's just going to be a flat-out race for kills. I don't think either team has a particular advantage here.
Yeah, Myth had no weapons somehow. I think he managed to pick up the elimination, right? But, yeah, he did with 18 HP. Myth stole the shotgun out from in front of that guy, picked up the elimination. He's got the down more than likely, just waiting for it. But Myth was in a very bad spot, clutched up when it mattered most. And so the game is still not decided yet, obviously, but made a really big play there.
I mean, hey, he goes down, awkward situation. Zexrow, what do you do? If he can't get that reboot off, they're in an awkward spot. But hey, look at this, right? Nate Hill already getting in the mix. He wants to try to go for this one, but it's just a matter of running. Zexrow saying, hey, waste all your time. Waste your time all you want. No big deal. Finding someone toward the back alley, just trying to escape to the forest, but no, not able to do it. TSM off the rip, looking good. And Zexrow already at 4 eliminations, having his hand in pretty much everything, tossing out that big pot toward his good buddy Myth. And for now, Nate Hill has to escape. Swiper, no swiping. However, just as he quickly rotates, he'll find somebody as well. So all even for the most part when you kind of look at that overall situation. But I love that call. Nate Hill calling an audible, totally catching the enemy off guard, tries to pretty much go in there, sneak away, steal elimination, and that's the way that Nate Hill can kind of play this game a little bit. He can kind of be ultra creative, try to take on the opponents, and he's feeling confident, right, going into this fight pretty much by himself. You notice Zexrow not too far off as well, but he's going into this one without a squad mate.
Yeah, he definitely is going to be able to beam that player. Zexrow has got to get close. You want to take these fights as close as possible. Get into those face shots with them. He does pick up both elims there, so massive for them as they're going to try to maintain that lead, get that snowball effect going. You see Funk complete.
Yeah, that's the thing here is that this is going to be a matter of who's willing to branch out the most. As I say that, Myth willing to branch out on his own a little bit and finds a rocket right in the forehead. Zexrow going to have to come in for the save. He's trying to break into this player's box. He steals the wall, and then he steals his life. He's got his trusty green assault rifle, so he's going to go get Myth back up and then hopefully go on a killing spree if the TSM guys want to catch up to Nate Hill and Funk Bomb.
Is incredibly impressive. We'll see if they can keep it up, keep counteracting it. In the midst of rotations, Funk Bomb stealing a little bit of his HP from the opponents and also losing some of his own, right? These Stink Bombs are doing some work, but has a few chug splashes, still holding on to that high ground advantage as resources are low. Health is low. Thankfully, has a few of these minis to get him back to 108 overall health, but here comes Nate Hill. Plenty of wood in terms of his overall resources, right? Sitting at 800 plus, and it looks as if, though, despite having all those resources, there is an enemy that exists just above him. Decides to back up, wanting to join alongside a Funk Bomb, but just as he engages on the low ground, he'll lose quite a bit of health. At the same time, Nate Hill does too. Lots of health loss, takes down one just to solidify it, but by no means is Faze comfortable. And it looks as if right now, Nate Hill, he's trying to venture out. He's trying to pretty much box himself away from Funk Bomb. He wants to almost as if allow for Funk Bomb to be the primary choice of target, make him somewhat of a bait, because as long as that's the case, he will be good. Nate Hill trying to wrap the wrist. He has the med kit, and it looks as if he'll come out and try to escape, utilizing a few of these excess one-by-ones, building a ton of apartments just kind of toward the outskirts of Mega Mall. Sees someone on the outskirts, and it looks as if that person does place down and will shoot them across the map. My goodness, this is getting so intense, and it looks as if Nate Hill, in the open regardless, does get that med kit off.
So that's actually very smart from Nate Hill. You see it a lot in competitive gameplay where you go diagonally away from the opponent to try to box up, and Nate is going to more than likely get this trap kill. The edit not coming through. This player knows how to play, and he's getting sandwiched in between two. He does take down one, 77 HP. Nate, it's all on your shoulders. You got to do something big here. He's trying to secure the eliminations, and he's going to, but he does only have that tactical shotgun. No more traps remaining. The safety net is gone. Funk Bomb's reboot card is ticking. It is all pressure all the time. You see this player trying to exploit through, not going to be able to do so, trying to get in. Nate Hill does have him in the box. Now he's got to play with the food, but no, he's going to go down. Oh, no. It's all up to TSM, the iconic skin, making the play. I don't know what the lead is now, but it's all on Zexrow. It's all on Myth. But again, they still have one more game to beat, even if they win this one.
Absolutely.
Right? They still came up from the losers bracket. So the Faze boys, whether they lose this, they still have to keep their momentum and their mentality high. Because as soon as you lose that, you lose the game.
Yes, Myth and Zexrow in a perfect position here to get the bracket reset, to take Funk and Nate Hill into the losers bracket with them. Going down for another 2 matches for a showdown here. They need to make up 4 more kills as Zexrow flying around on 10 HP. You see him swerving back and forth, pulling out all the stops, trying to be as evasive as possible. Myth, meanwhile, having to battle the storm just to get in, and he's getting zoned out. This might be the end of Myth here if he's not too careful. He gets a couple of good, clean shield tags on him. He's going to be able to pop some minis, maybe take a moment to reset behind the tree, just stay out in the storm. You do have that med kit, so you can tank as much of this as you need to.
Oh my gosh, this is coming down toward the end. And you also notice, right, his teammate, they're both in the zone. Zexrow, they're low on health. He also gets tagged up, and they're starting to run out of resources. They're starting to run out of meds. TSM, if they can't escape, they are done. They're in the storm. Myth giving the call saying, hey, I'm popping the med kit, but what can we see Zexrow pull off? Is this more of just a heroic play? I don't know if he's going to be able to get towards safety in time. It's going to come down to a very close margin. If he takes a shot, he's done. Myth should be good, but to no avail. The storm, a very accurate word to describe what they're going through right now, and I don't believe that Zexrow can escape. He's not going to get there in time. He's going to fall just short, and he's going to rely on Myth to possibly get the revive, as this is getting interesting, and Myth may be going for a full-on rotation, but you look, not a whole lot of resources right now for Myth. He has to pull off something incredible. And they're giving the call-outs. They're saying, what's the score looking like right now? Are we up? No, we are not. We are not up by any means. Referencing back, looking for a chest, looking for anything. And primarily, he will find a med kit.
Oh, the med kit and the campfire.
That is huge, guys.
Yeah, and you heard Zexrow call out and say, hey, they're going for my loot. Otherwise, Myth would have continued that rotation and got the reboot card just like that. But now he's got 27 seconds to make it out of the zone and continue. Luckily, it looked like he was kind of on the slower side of zone, so he will be fine if he's managed to get out. But those players are looking for him. They know that there's someone in the zone that has not died yet. They know that they killed someone, right? Whether I don't know if Zexrow has anonymous mode on or not, but if he doesn't, then they know that that's TSM Myth.
Oh, there's a build that was just destroyed to the left.
Yeah, like you saw, the build just destroyed there.
There they are?
The team in the water. Myth has got to play as sneaky as he possibly can. He's just got to pop it. He can't build. He's got 3 builds. Yeah. If he gets this med kit off, he changes the game, and he could clutch it up and get 4 more eliminations. And we saw him do it before, right, with the mech. Granted, he doesn't have a mech suit this time. But
there's Zexrow. Zexrow's down. It's all Myth. It is all Myth.
Can he clutch this game up for the 2nd time in a row? Oof.
Oh, he finds some nades. That's going to be nice. And also does find the hoverboard.
He's got the tools he needs right now.
He does, but at the same time, he doesn't really have the overall health. Like, he doesn't have shields aplenty. He doesn't really have a whole lot of resources. So, well, the inventory is looking nice. You're going to see him pretty much just try to dodge this fight. You do not want to engage on these players who have got a lot going for them. Doing some tricks and obviously calling out. I think he just missed a big pot, so I'm going to reference back. That's going to be huge for him. But like we said, the lack of resources has got to be very nerve-wracking right now, as he's going to go and grab this one in an open cover. It's what you got to do at this moment right here, Clay.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you can't afford to waste the builds. He is back down to 2 builds. Notice he did manage to keep that hoverboard instead of hopping off while it was in the air. He didn't want to risk taking fall damage. We know Myth loves it. But it could have cost him his rotation, right? That team in Loot Lake is very good. You saw the builds that they were fighting in when the Myth and Zexrow first had to leave, and they were getting out-build fight. So for someone to out-build fight 2 of the best players in the world, they got to be pretty dang good, or just the numbers outweigh them, right? So he's got 23 people left in the lobby, and he's doing exactly the thing he needs to do. He needs to rotate around the edge zone, try to find anybody that is just on Twitter or calling their grandma or something, like not playing the game, essentially. He is going to use his last builds here to pop a slurp juice. I think it's worth it. You're at that 200. Not much can take you out. He does need to farm, and he's going to do that just here, but he does need 4 more eliminations just to tie it, I believe.
Now, if it were me, I'm thinking, if I'm looking at Myth's inventory, I'm thinking he's got 2 for sure with the boogie bombs. Those boogie bombs should convert 1-to-1 to kills. If he's successful, if he doesn't get overwhelmed, each boogie bomb, he should boogie at least one person. He should convert one of those into kills. So I'm pretty much writing off 2 kills for Myth right now. The stinks, maybe. Maybe he gets lucky, you convert that into 1 kill. I know they're pretty hard to get a kill, per stink, anything like that. 6 grenades also puts him in a pretty good spot if he chooses to hold all of this. Now, right there, yeah, I think that's the play. You got to keep your health with you since you are the only one left alive. He doesn't have any hope of a revive if he should happen to go down. But he is giving up some of that utility in order to try to, he's got to stay alive to get the kills. And he's getting lasered, as I say it, already down 60 shield remaining. He's just going to have to run a little bit and play some of this long game.
That's not the way he wants to run. Meant to say, hold on, let me get out of that right quick. Actually, he's going to start to take some shots. He's going to box up and saying, hey, you know what? This is not what I want.
I'm thinking chuck some grenades, hope for some fall damage.
Wow, there's one. There's the first. There's nearly the second. He's picking up quite a bit of health loss from the opposition, and here we go. Tossing out the nades. Can he bring it within even? Can he do it? And I believe he wasn't awarded that last elimination, so that's rather unfortunate still. A lot of work to be done. And skyrocketing himself toward the top of these structures. And how nerve-wracking was that? How nerve-wracking would that be? And here we go. Tosses out the first boogie bomb. There are players that are just below him utilizing the cozy campfire. They're trying to stay up. He dodges yet again the stink bombs. He can't put those in the inventory because everything in there is oh so crucial right now. And he's got to wait. There we go. We hear the shockwave grenade get utilized from somebody.
Look at how calm Myth is right now. He's sitting there going, yeah, I hear a shockwave bomb. Like, what? How are you not losing your mind? He's got no mats. He has 1 build, exactly 1 build, 1 boogie bomb, barely any shotgun shells. Myth is going to have to pull one heck of a clutch out.
This has got to be crazy if he pulls this off. Like, legitimately. You are surrounded. You hardly have a whole lot of inventory spots, and you have no resources. Well, here's the time. Here's the chance. No! He can't do it. Myth cannot do it this time around as the enemy's flexing a little bit, and that will do it. That is going to be it as Faze defend their title back from week 5. Nate Hill, 3 straight grand finals. He's 2 out of 3, and 2 of them come with this man, Funk Bomb. Unreal.